Hey everyone, welcome back to Matter of Facts. My name is Phil Rabley, and today I want to try my hand at something that has been done before, but I haven't done it before, so bear with me. We're going to do a little tabletop revival of a really pretty buttstock. Okay, this is a Henry-made U.S. survival rifle. Sometimes you hear it called an AR-7. It is a self-contained, very small survival rifle. It all packs down in the buttstock. We're going to go through kind of the ins and outs of how this thing works really quickly because there's a lot more information on it already out on YouTube, and I'm going to get into a little bit of what I think about this rifle personally. Alright, now this is the Henry U.S. survival rifle. You'll hear me call it an AR-7 kind of frequently. That's kind of a throwback to when Eugene Stoner actually designed this. It was called the AR-7. And I believe when Charter Arms bought the rights to it and produced it, it was also called the AR-7. So people that are familiar with these rifles tend to use the two terms survival rifle and AR-7 interchangeably. Just bear with us. It means the same thing. Henry markets this as the U.S. survival rifle. Now this is a plastic buttstock that stores all components that this rifle includes. It will store down with two 7-round magazines fully loaded, the barrel assembly, and the receiver. Now the claim to fame for this rifle is that you can assemble this out in the field reasonably quickly with no hand tools. This is a thumb screw that's being used to secure the receiver to the buttstock. Little fiddly, but you reach up in here with your fingertips and you get it screwed down reasonably tight. Doesn't need a lot of torque. All it's doing is holding the receiver in place. Now, the barrel does not thread in. It actually just slots in, line up these 2 points right here, and then screw your barrel nut down. Again, we're talking about shooting 22 LR, not a high pressure round, so just hand tight. Give it a little bit of a twist. Put your buttstock back on the end of the rifle, and that is a Henry AR-7. We'll go ahead and check and make sure it's clear real quick. This is the bolt handle, pulls out, pull to the rear. We are clear. This is your safety, even though probably my single biggest criticism of the rifle is that this safety is not quite as I mean, it's reasonably positive. It's not. I'd like a little bit more effort to change a weapon from safe to fire. That's just me personally. Doesn't impact the function of the rifle. It's just me personally. I want that to be a little bit more positive. But having 14 rounds 22 LR on tap and fitting into a package this big, when we're talking about all being stored into the buttstock, makes this a great camping, backpacking, hiking rifle. You can make an argument that 357 is a really common defensive caliber, say in bear country. You can make an argument that maybe you can just carry your daily 9mm, but what this gives you is a little bit more ability to reach out and touch someone over a handgun. The length of pull is a little bit truncated because, I mean, let's face it, this is the total length of the stock. Now, I've shot rifles for quite a few years now, and this takes some getting used to because you feel very kind of bunched up with your whole body crammed into this little bit of space. You're trying to put your cheek right here to get into this peep sight. It's just a little bit longer rifle, make it more comfortable, but then make it longer, and that's the point. You'll hear me talk in firearm usage about POU, or philosophy of use. Every weapon has philosophy of use. It's what do you intend to do with this rifle? If this is going to be, if you're looking for a 22 that you just want to go plink with and shoot at the range, this is not the right rifle. Let's just get that out of the way. This is not a particularly comfortable rifle to shoot because of the length of pull and the size of the buttstock, and I mean the trigger on this thing I think is the best part of about 8 pounds if I recall correctly. It's very, very heavy, and it's not particularly pleasant if I'm being honest. The reset on it's phenomenally numb. The trigger's not great. The sights are not bad. So you have a small diopter peep sight in the back that you can flip from a large to a small aperture. I just leave it on the small one. I don't know what the big one's for, honestly. You have a small orange blade sight in the front that you can drift with hand pressure, which doesn't give me the most warm, fuzzy feelings for this thing holding zero for a prolonged period of time, but it does get the job done. It is an appropriate set of sights. And the fact that it stores down with 14 rounds on tap. 14 rounds of 22 LR is not exactly massive firepower in today's world, but it's not horrible. Now, personally, I carry this with this little guy. This is the Marble Arms Catch-22, and it stores a whole store of extra rimfire ammunition. Cannot recall exactly off the top of my head how many rounds I have in here, but it's that long. It's filled to the brim with 10 rows of 22 LR. So this gives you quite a bit extra ammo. Clip it on your belt, put it into a pocket. This plus 14 rounds gives me some confidence that if I have to use this for some reason, I have appropriate amount of ammunition. And this whole thing fits into a fairly small space, which is the whole point. This goes back to the philosophy of use. For me, this is a backpacking gun. This is a hiking gun, a camping gun. This is when space and weight is at a premium. You don't want to have to carry a 7 to 8 pound rifle if you don't need a 7 or 8 pound rifle. You don't want to carry a handgun and deal with the decreased range if you can have a rifle. This fits into a very small niche, and in that niche, it's really, really good. There's an argument to be made about a Ruger 1022 takedown over this. It's kind of a toss-up. The Ruger is a heavier rifle. It's a better rifle in my opinion, but it's heavier. It's not going to pack down as much into a small of a space, so you have pros and cons. But what this rifle does is give you a 22 LR repeater in a very small amount of space with a very small amount of weight. If that's what you need, this is a good rifle to look into. Now, I'm going to say that I had a discussion with one of my followers, Jared, just today as a matter of fact, and if y'all check the Facebook page out, which I'll link in the show description, you can see our go back and forth on this, but he has one of these, and he did not have a good experience with it. Said it was having issues reliably feeding ammunition. He had some quality control issues with it. His experiences were, I wouldn't say overwhelmingly negative, but very negative. Mine have been very positive. The rifle shoots fine for me. I haven't had a chance to run more than one type of ammunition. I think these are Remington Golden bullets, and it feeds these perfectly without breaking a sweat. I have another friend of mine that has one, shoots CCI, I believe it's either mini mags or stingers or something like that out of it. Has no problems with that. So I can't say for sure if Jared got the lemon or if the rest of us got lucky, but I'm putting it out there that some people have not had a good experience out of this rifle. I haven't heard enough bad experiences, say if that's normal or the exception of the rule, but whatever the case was, I'm letting it be known. But I'll just close this out because I want to keep this short. This is my first tabletop review, and there will be more coming if everybody is interested. If not, I'll just bugger off and mind my business. But for its philosophy of use being the small, lightweight backpacking gun, this is a good option. I think, honestly, I prefer this to a handgun most of the time. Not for the carryability, because carryability, I'd rather have a handgun and holster, but for the ability to have this rifle packed down to this much space, this is hard to beat. So, if you're in that market for a 22 to go plinking with your friends, don't get this. Don't get this. This is not the right rifle for that. It's not fun to shoot. It's not particularly comfortable. The trigger is abominable. It's not the worst I've ever felt, but it's close. It's very heavy. It's not particularly positive in the feedback. I don't care for the trigger. But if what you need is a small, lightweight backpacking gun, give this one a look. Give it a feel. See if you can get used to it. And all I can tell you is that Henry's customer service, in my experience, has been very, very good. So if you do have issues, I would hope that the company would take care of you on that. What I can tell you is that this gun came out of the box, and it's been fine from the word go. But please tell me what you think about the Henry. If anybody wants to know anything more about it, please comment in the video. I'll try to tell you what I know. We'll have a little bit of a discussion back and forth. And if you want to see more tabletop reviews of my personal weapons, because no one's sending me guns to review, then I will happily walk y'all through my entire arsenal, as small as it is, and we'll discuss pros and cons of the different firearms that I have in my possession. But I appreciate y'all's time, and let me know what y'all think. The Facebook page is going to be linked in the description. So are the links to check me out at Podomatic and iTunes. There's an audio podcast and now this video vlog that are going to be married together to kind of provide two different kinds of content for two different uses. I think video works really well for something like this where picture's worth 1,000 words. But then there's times when the 1,000 words is really a better way to discuss things, and we're going to continue to do that on audio. So let me know what y'all think, and I'll talk to y'all next time.